Architects are like Boy Scouts. They want to do good and they want to solve society's problems. That's what they're paid for.
Well, in part one, we heard about the role architecture has in influencing a culture and a society. And we're going to return to that theme before the end of the programme. But now let's examine the everyday concerns of today's architects.
There's a kind of responsibility to make people have a good life and live in nice spaces and are educated in good rooms or hospitalized in good spaces. But also the cityscape needs to be in such organized that you can meander or wander around or walk or have access. There's another issue, which is that I think the import of a civic and public space which is accessible to everybody, that there is no kind of boundary for anyone how to access it, and you can just walk up the street, go into it, or, you know, as if it's like a beach, you know, or a park or whatever.
Zaha Hadid is in many ways the enfant terrible of modern architecture. Her work's been recognised with the prestigious Pritzker Prize, and it still divides opinions the world over. But her own opinions are always worth listening to.
I think architecture is really about well-being and that you have to feel good in a space. And it doesn't matter whether it's very simple or very complex. You know, I think that's how you feel.
So what are the great projects of the 21st century? Well, I went to Barcelona to find out. The city was hosting the World Architectural Festival with the aim of choosing the best building in the world. Here are the shortlisted entries.
We're in the main entrance arrival point of the O2 itself. This is very much the hub of activities. The idea we always wanted was that wherever you were in the building, you saw people, you saw the movement of people, you saw the activity of them enjoying the experience and the event. Here is certainly the heartbeat of the whole destination itself. We're inside on the main floor of the O2 Arena. Everything you see up high here was all built on the ground, about 4,000 tonnes, and all lifted in one movement. I think if you can create something where people have memorable experiences, unique memorable experiences, then the combination of that with the aesthetic combines to produce a building that can be termed as being truly iconic.
The whole west wall of the house is designed to allow us to either completely open the house 100% to the outside world and let that environment into the house, or at the opposite extreme, completely close it and seal it and trap energy from the sun to warm it. When you're in this house, one of the extraordinary things about it is you really are very attuned to what is going on outside. You can kind of see all of the structure of the house at this critical corner. This house is not only designed to be assembled swiftly, but it's also designed for disassembly. The proudest thing is just how I feel every time I get here. It slows my life down, changes my ability to perceive and to conceive, and has a profound effect on not only my behavior, but I think the behavior of everybody who comes here. And I think that's the thing that makes me proudest.
The uniqueness is the program, because what we wanted always is to redefine public space, and this was the possibility to do so. You cannot divide the client from the architect and the architect from the client. You have to consider not only the view from outside, you have to consider the view from the inside to the outside as well. In our architecture, there is no form follows function or function follows form. The architect's responsibility is to create new aesthetical issues, to go ahead with the development of the visual competence of our society. Excellent architecture will be remembered.
What is unique about the restoration is that we've tried to incorporate a lot of recycling of the salvaged material when we redid them. Throughout the restoration, we were keen on using the materials, the construction materials, on their own without finishing them in any kind of toxic finishes. The entire roof was removed. It's not very often that in corporate offices of Mumbai, you would get this height, and since it existed, we had to make use of it fully. Religion is so much part of our country. We choose the day we start construction, we choose the day we begin to use the office. There are pujas for every step of the construction. I definitely feel that the people who use my buildings must come away with a sense of well-being, a sense of happiness. They must appreciate the beauty around them, not just in the architecture. I think they have to go away with the feeling of, feeling that life is good.
One of the largest components of the project at Freedom Park is Sikumbuto. Sikumbuto is the memorial space of the project. It's a place of memory, remembering people that have died in different periods of struggle in South Africa's history. This is the Wall of Names. The idea with the Wall of Names is to list people that have perished in different periods of struggle and put their names on the wall that they're almost tangible. The Lesaka is a ring of stones that were brought in from the different provinces of South Africa, and they resemble different people coming together or in homecoming. I think the most exciting thing for me in terms of architecture at the moment is, especially for me being a landscape architect, is how do we really understand integrating landscape into architecture and making places that are meaningful.
Everything is child scale. Most of the time, this building is just a roof floating in the air. There is no difference between inside and outside. These small columns are supporting the weight for 4,000 people going up onto the roof. And there is no wall. There are more than 20 windows on top of the roof. The children love to jump into the net. There are 3 trees. Sometimes we get more than 120 children around the tree. It's amazing. This is my partner, Yui Tezuka, and always we work together. And it's quite easy to find us in the street because I'm always in blue, and my wife, actually my partner, is only with red and blue combination.
There is no division between functionality and beauty. So when it works well, we don't feel any division between it.
The architecture can change the environment, and the architecture can change the child very much. Architecture has that kind of possibility.
Architects dealing with a whole range of issues, from environmental concerns to cultural sensitivities. Yet one thing that unites them all is a desire to not only be part of society, but a positive influence on it. But is architecture really that important? Well, in part 3, we'll hear from arguably the best in the business, those who are determined that they do make a difference. And we'll reveal who and what won Best Building at the Barcelona show.
If you are a good architect, you have also to be involved in culture. It's impossible to be architects without interested in painters, in paintings, in art, in music, in theater, in performance.